Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Everyone, please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda tonight will be our spotlight on excellence.
Right, tonight, honor and privilege tonight to introduce the director of the Boys and Girls Club, Dan Fry, and our local director, Brooklyn Ulrich, and we've just been so incredibly grateful for the positive difference that their club has made in the lives of our students this year. So we want to give them the opportunity to share some of their success stories and tell us about some future things coming down the pipe.
I brought some handouts. This just goes over an overview of what our program is and some stuff for you to just look over. These are out. So if you're not familiar with the Boys and Girls Club, we are an after-school youth services organization. We work on academic foundations, fundamentals, also mental and physical wellness, and emotional well-being. We run Monday through Friday, 3 to 6, or school dismissal till 6. And you can see some of the numbers on the handout. So we have 49 kids here. They average 34 kids a day. It's pretty cut and dry every day. We come in, we work on homework, have snack, which the school corporation provides. Thank you very much for that. And then they work on homework until about 4, and from 4 to 5 work on academic foundations. We have our organization is housed in South Bend. We have a literacy coordinator and a STEM coordinator, EWB coordinator. All that programming comes down to the kids, and we do 2 days of literacy enrichment a week, 1 day of STEM enrichment a week, and emotional well-being. And then on Fridays, it's Friday. We get to do mini clubs, and we do all kinds of fun, unstructured things on Fridays. So that's kind of us in a nutshell. We greatly appreciate the partnership. This is one of the most amazing sites that we have in the whole organization. I am a little biased since I am over the site, but as far as security, partnership with the admin, the kids, it's just an amazing site overall. So we're super pleased to be here and be able to offer the program to you guys. So it's amazing. Do anybody have any questions?
I think we're equally as excited.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And we're busting at the seams. Brooklyn can tell you the room we're at now is pretty full. So it's really cool to see. And like you said, the kids are amazing. It's so fun to come to the site. So it's really good.
We really appreciate you bringing the program here. It's
a
need that was necessarily filled.
Sure. Yeah, we'd love to have a club for every kid, so we're doing our best.
We have very positive feedback that we're getting, and we appreciate that. And I know we're in some discussions that I may be bringing back to the board about some possible summer programming. So
yeah. So we're looking forward to that. So any questions I can answer for that later date, let me know.
And we've looked at mornings, but they haven't shown enough interest yet.
Right.
Yeah, we did a survey. So before we started the club, we did a survey and included after school and then before care. We just didn't see a lot of interest from the families that we surveyed. So, but if you guys ever see a need, that might be something we can fill for you also. So.
Anything else we can do from a support standpoint?
I don't think so. It's been really amazing. I mean, like I said, we might need a little bit more space coming up, but otherwise, it's been really good. Like I would say that the way the security system is and the iPad is one of my favorite things about the site. It's so super safe. Keeps parents where they need to be, kids where they need to be. No inside or out people from the outside coming in and walk around the program space. So yeah, it's been fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay, next we'll look at approving tonight's agenda. Mrs. Cheese, and doing additional.
there are no changes for tonight's agenda.
Any discussion on it? There is none. I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the agenda presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next up will be public comment for this evening. Mrs. Grandstaff, do we have anyone?
There are no.
No public comment for tonight. That'll bring us to our consent agenda items. First, we'll look at approving the minutes from the regular meeting and Board of Finance and Executive meetings of January 12th. Any questions or discussion on those minutes? If there is none, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Next up will be the financial items for this evening. Mrs. Grandstaff.
Our first source bank statement balance for the month of January was $5,695,346.68. Our first federal bank statement balance was $515.12. Our CD, the 6-month CD with First Source had matured, and so I ended up rolling that over with First Source again because they have the best rates. Our monthly claims were in the amount of $2,142,731.39. The claims fund report are attached in your packet for your review. The EPCSC summary is also attached in your packet. The transfers completed in the month of January were the cafeteria transfer for December, the Medicaid and Education Fund transfer, and grant cleanups. I also included in your packet elementary, middle, and high school ECA balances for your guys' review. I do that 2 times a year. There were no multi-year contracts, and the summary of education expenditures is attached in your packet as well.
Do CDs still look like our best return on investment right now? I know we
Yes.
talked about possibly looking at alternative things to CDs, but is it still looking like that's the best route?
Yes, I reached out to First Source Bank, and they said that was the best return on our investment at this point.
Thank you.
CDs. You're welcome.
Does anyone else have questions for Ms. Cranstaff on the financials?
The ECA balances, are they allowed to roll those over year to year, or do certain of them have to be used within a certain amount
No,
of
those
time?
can keep
They can
rolling.
keep rolling.
Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial items.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. That will bring us to our personnel items for this evening. Mrs. Cheeson?
I would request the approval of the personnel items contained in your board packet.
Do you have any questions or discussion on the personnel items tonight? If there is none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval of the personnel items as presented.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. And that'll get us to our action and discussion items for this evening. First up, the Winnemac Tree Committee.
All right, Mr. Kiefer.
Hey, so, my name's Will Kiefer, for those of you who don't know me. Myself and Don Darda have been working with a bunch of students, working on improving our community, as well as learning about local civics. Super impressed by all the work that they've done so far. We've accumulated almost 200 in-kind hours since October. And a few of our committee members would like to share our current goals.
So my name is Evan Burgess. I'm a co-president of the committee, and the project I'd like to talk about is our spring project. Is we would like to plant 15 Crimson King maple trees around the softball field we have out that way. They're maroon leaves, which is what really drew them to us with those school colors. They grow 30 to 40 feet tall and 20 to 30 foot in diameter when they're fully grown. For the first 2 summers, if they were planted, the tree committee would handle all the watering, all the maintenance, and then after that, any additional maintenance, such as trimming, would be taken care of by us also. But after those 2 acclimation summers, they don't need watered. We are hoping to get a donation of $20 per tree from the school, which would total to $300 times the 15 trees. That's all we have on that.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Charlie Dysinger. I'm a senior here at Winnemac. I am a co-secretary for the Winnemac Tree Committee. And so we are partnering with the America 250 organization to plant a Liberty Elm on the Pulaski County Courthouse lawn. Liberty Elm represents the original Liberty tree planted in Boston in 1646, which became a powerful symbol of American independence and unity during the Revolution. This project allows students and community members to connect with history in a meaningful, lasting way. Beyond the courthouse, our goal is to plant a Liberty Elm in every town across Pulaski County, creating a shared symbol of pride.
I'm Noah Sekviar. I am a co-treasurer for Tree Committee, and some other things that we'd like to do are we'd like to donate a sapling to each of the elementary students for Arbor Day, and we also plan on donating a Crimson King to the elementary school, and we're not sure where that's going to be yet. That's the plan.
I'm Jasmine Prater. I am a member of the Winnemac Tree Committee. We would like to do Arbor Day activities with the elementary students on April 24th, if that does not interfere with any testing. If we are able to do Arbor Day stuff, we are able to do stuff at our personal piece of land at the park. If we would rather, we can do the first grade activities with Mr. Darda and just give saplings for Arbor Day.
Okay, so the main thing is we want to plant 15 trees by the softball field. So like Evan said, we're asking for a $20 donation per tree with 15 total. So that totals to $300. Dara already gave us a letter of support to help us in our grant application, which went really well. We're just waiting to hear back about that. But we were mostly wanting to get permission to plant those trees, as well as if we could get a confirmation of whether or not we would be able to receive that donation to match our grant.
And I assume we can find that in the budget.
Mrs. Grandstaff and I have talked, and we have a spot that we can take it.
I really like the idea of the crimson school colors. That's a cool idea. And I think we could probably approve that tonight unless somebody thinks they need to ask some more questions.
I don't think so.
Okay. Anyone like to make the motion to approve the tree committee's plans and
I'll
approve
make a
the
motion to approve it.
and the funding for the demo?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's like you can plant some trees.
Thank you.
And I would encourage you to get with Mrs. Collins about your Arbor Day activities and see if that day works or if there's another day that would work better for everybody. So thank you so much.
And was that every elementary kid? Mm-hmm. Everyone? So quite a few trees going out in the community.
Well done. Thank you.
Yes,
so much.
thank you for joining
guys.
us tonight. And
Thank you very much.
And you're welcome to stay, or you can.
Get me out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody. That's awesome.
Okay, we'll move on to our next action item, which will be an internet update. Mrs. Cheatham.
As following our formal RFP process for the 2026 internet services, we have selected Zayo Education, it's formerly ENA, as a preferred provider. The proposed contract includes an upgrade from 300 megabytes to 1 gigabyte of dedicated internet service to support instructional technology, online testing, and district operations. The proposed 3-year contract beginning July 1 of 2026 will have 2 optional 1-year extensions, provide long-term cost stability, and includes E-rate eligible services. It'll be monitored 24/7. Zayo was selected over another provider based on their proven reliability, experience serving Indiana K-12 districts, and being a fully managed model. The contract is currently under review by a legal consultant to ensure alignment with all compliance, but I request your approval to allow Mr. Haschel and I to finalize and execute the service contract with Zayo after that legal review is completed.
Does anyone have any questions on the internet update? If there are none, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval of the internet update as presented.
Well, second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. That'll bring us to some donations for this evening.
Quite a few, again, very generous of our community. We have a donation in the amount of $7,426.55 to the elementary school in memory of Frank Scheidler. The Pulaski County Community Foundation donated $1,050 for a 3rd grade field trip to Fair Oaks Farm on May 4th. Nicole Johnson donated $345 for school supplies for 2nd grade. The Cheryl Lynn Welter Foundation donated $550 for Mr. Armstrong's classroom. Morgan Hill Farms $1,000 towards FFA. Terry Truck Equipment $100 for the prom. Knights of Columbus $100 for the prom. JT Shirt Shack $100 for the prom. And then the school liaison in conjunction with the health department, that would be Maria Roth, worked with Heather Caston, and I would really like to thank them and their efforts They have donated over 60 go bags at this point. I brought one today. These are the go bags that we will keep in our classrooms that if there's ever an emergency and we need to take the kids out of our classrooms or off-site, the teachers can take them and go, and there's first aid equipment, gloves, hand sanitizer, but I have one here that I will pass them down, but they are really nice, and they're every second counts bag, so I will pass them down to take a look at, so. Full of supplies.
Stuff in there, then. A lot of nice donations too.
Very, very, very nice.
Would anyone like to make a motion to approve the donations for this evening?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Donations are approved. Next up, we'll have a memorandum of understanding with SkyPack Incorporated.
Okay. As a group of corporations joined with Northern Indiana Service Center to be awarded the second round of a career coaching grant. Through that grant, we will be partnering with SkyPack and collaborating with an extensive network of school corporations across the region. The SkyPack is going to provide our district with a career interest assessment with guided reflection and planning, support for a work-based learning coordinator, centralized tracking of student participation, and verified hours of the work-based learning, as well as data reporting and compliance support. So I would request your approval of this MOU with SkyPack.
I didn't see any dollar figures, so.
There is no dollar figures attached to this, so it's the grant is paying for the SkyPack.
And so, can you apply for a grant like annually, or is there like?
And I did ask Mr. Harmon that with the Service Center. I said, so we are going to love this software, and then the grant ends. He is seeking for more grants. It is a need, and I talked to Mrs. Myers as the academic advisor, and she has been to some meetings to hear about different companies that would provide this tracking, because we're not sure how we're going to track all of the hours that our students need. And the nice thing is that this would track it. It also is going to shoot documents and emails that the employers can verify that the students actually completed the work. It's also going to be a warehouse for employers across the region, that if they need interns or student workers, that students can see like the job board within it. So that was a question that I had, but currently this year, it actually started, we just had the onboarding, and then it will run through the entire next school year.
So they get you in the net, and then away they go, yeah. Hopefully it's great, and
we find another grant.
Yeah, another grant, correct.
But that was my first question.
Good, thank you.
It looks like they have a lot of interest in the process. Any other questions or discussion on it? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the MOU with SkyPack Inc.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. And last up for our additional board topic for tonight, Mrs. Cheesem is going to give us a presentation on our possible new elementary playground project.
Yes, and I want to thank Mrs. Collins for all of her legwork with this project. She has met with multiple vendors and really started the ball rolling, so I may draw her in. I did meet with her the last time to ask questions with our proposed vendor, but we have a proposal for the elementary playground. And why is that? Well, the playground out there is original to the school. And I was asking some people that were in this classroom, how old is that? And they were calculating probably 1970s, and remember playing on that equipment. It's also not ADA compliant, and we have some students that really need to be able to access all the equipment. And there are also liability concerns that we are facing, and as the equipment breaks or we see issues with the equipment, we are taking that out, but we are aware that we really need an upgrade. I'm going to show you a quick video because this is really cool, and this is one of the items that is in the proposal, and then I'm gonna show you some pictures of what we'd like to do, and then at the end, I will show you the dollar amount. But we'll start with the fun stuff here, if I can get it to play.
Awesome. This is so much fun.
Okay, so the proposal is we've got 2 playgrounds out there, and the proposal is to redo both playgrounds, but with a different focus on each. And so that Mrs. Collins would then provide a schedule where they take turns going back and forth. So all students would have access to both. We won't have one that's designated just for certain grades, but we would create a schedule where they could each take turns. So this would actually be the west playground that has some of the bigger equipment, and it also has that zip line that you just saw here. So we have spinny items, we have some friendship swings that sit together, we have that zip line in the back, as well as some climbing equipment here on this west area. Oh, that's east. I have them backwards. Okay, I'm so glad Mrs. Collins has us sitting here. There was a lot of pictures here, so the surface that they are suggesting is engineered wood. It's not the traditional mulch, and it's not the poured form either. And we had a discussion about what is best, and they are saying that the engineered wood really compacts down so that you can roll wheelchairs across it. It really makes it compact, and they put it in 12 inches deep. I asked about the poured because in my head I thought this looked like the poured forms that you see in some of the playgrounds, but they are saying those have to be removed every 5 years and re-poured every 5 years, and the cost for doing that is just not feasible. This would take, we'd have to go in and put new in, additional in about every 2 years, and then about every 10 years you want to add more. But I've been talking to Mrs. Grant's staff about budgeting for that additional cost for that entire area. But that is the recommendation, that it would be good for.
And that's something we can do right here ourselves to refresh it and all that.
No, they would come in and refresh
Oh,
it.
okay.
They would come in with the equipment and refresh it. So these are just some more pictures of that same playground. Some different views of the equipment. And then the other playground is more of the Ninja Warrior type obstacle course that the students could go through, again with ADA accessible equipment throughout. We've got spinners, these are spinners. We've got friendship and swings over here in the same surface. They also talked about that the playground is actually going to be above the ground level, about 6 inches, and they're going to put a plastic kind of wall against it to hold the wood in, but then part of the work is to grade all the way around it so that it's accessible to wheelchairs and grading up all the way around it. This is actually showing it up against the playground area, but after discussion, we would move it back away because otherwise there's going to be a lip and it's not going to be accessible to get on. So they said that really the best way is to move it about 6 feet away so a mower can get down there and create that grading so that it's accessible all the way around. Some more pictures of the play equipment on this side. So, yeah, what's it gonna cost? Actually, these numbers came in, I was like, I thought, okay, this is better than I thought. The east side and the west side, you can see the totals, the equipment, installation site work, seating, the surfacing, for a grand total to do both of them, $385,000. Hasn't been done since the 70s. So, one of the sides we're gonna update like the basketball goals, the soccer goals, make that more of a sporting, that's the ninja side.
The west side, up on the football field.
Would have those updated, with the side with the play equipment. So what's next is fundraising and grant writing. I've already turned in a grant to the Casey's grant. I wrote that in the fall. I way overestimated, so, but there was a limited amount that I could ask for anyway. We should hear about that one in March. There's a couple other ones that we will be writing that are due here in the spring. And then fundraising locally to provide some new equipment for our students.
And we'll be keeping all the hard surface areas, the asphalt areas the way they are then.
Have you cut any corners, or is that enough equipment?
We are leaving some of the playground, the climbing equipment.
Right, the equipment that was new, the Linda Braun Foundation, she gave us those 2 big substantial pieces that we have on each side, which really puts us in a good position to have those. But most of our other equipment is really recommended that we need to upgrade that. So this was a great starting point, with some, there's always room to grow, I think, but I think it would be a huge step.
So if we were to raise additional funds privately, there's additional needs?
I think you can, we have the luxury of having 2 playgrounds. Most schools only have 1, which is great, so that we have lots of ample play space. The catalogs that you can choose from, it's a bit overwhelming, I'll be very honest with you. We just tried to be, I think the concept of having 2 very different playgrounds helped create the innovation of the American Ninja Warrior, getting some new basketball goals, getting some soccer goals, and those kind of things. That there are multiple individual pieces that as grants or gifts become available, that we could certainly embed into our design.
Well, we think this would be sufficient for the number of
this
students that would be
I
at
think
the,
this would.
kids aren't gonna be waiting in line like the water parks and stuff to go down the slide.
No, I think this will be an absolute wonderful play space for our kids, for sure.
I think Jim Terry asked the question when we talked about this a couple months ago about labor. So is there a possibility that
we talked to them about that, and I had asked, the one side is community build is just not possible. The side that has the bigger equipment is just too heavy of equipment, and it takes too big of machines to set it up. They did say that we could cut some of the site work off of the other side of the playground. I guess the question is, what work were we thinking of? Because when it's broken down, in my head I was thinking maybe demolition, but that's only saving about $2,500 to come in and tear it out. To build it would take, they said 50 people over several days. of being in here and doing it. And they could just come in and bring their team and do it. So it depends on the number of people and what jobs we were thinking about doing. So this is the whole cost with nothing shake.
Yeah, assembly was what I was thinking.
As far as like concrete, like you said, a lot of that stuff will stay. Do you feel like any of that needs replaced or resurfaced?
In the quote, we have taken out any piece that's not up to code.
Okay.
And that's
I didn't know if that was.
We have taken. We've removed a lot of the old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just shoot for the sky and
not up to code.
You've got it. Yeah, I'm not worried. Well, it looks great. Awesome. Thanks for putting the time in.
I'd like to get rolling with it. I propose we get a fundraising committee together, and I would be more than happy to chair that committee if possible.
I will help you with that if you need assistance.
Obviously 2 board members is about all you can have, or you violate the open door. I would suggest some of the administration and maybe 1 or 2 community members. If we're in support of moving ahead with a fundraising committee, that would be my suggestion.
That would be wonderful.
I'll make that motion for you.
Now do whatever you tell me.
Who would want to who would be some volunteer on the administration side?
She's like,
It'd be my honor to be on that committee for sure.
Would it be possible to use Lindy as a go-to on keeping track of a few things for us as a committee?
Absolutely.
Does anyone have a community member in mind?
Sure, we can come up with someone.
I'd say we need at least 1 or 2 community members if somebody wants to think of someone that would be an asset to it.
We've already had some conversations with a couple representatives of the Brown Corporation and also Leanne Wright from the Clatsop County Community Foundation. So they've been a part of some of our initial brainstorming.
I would probably mention Megan Wagner.
Yes.
And like you said, Leanne on that side.
For sure.
And if everyone's good with that, we'll get rolling with this as of Wednesday.
Sounds great.
So
Any idea? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
As far as hearing anything on the grant, Dara, is there?
March. They said March. We would hear.
Oh, really? Okay.
I would like to task all the board members with combining a list using Lindy of potential donors and maybe name someone that might be willing to go to those folks that has a connection. But if everyone would put a list together and we'll combine those lists and we'll get things moving.
Okay, so we want to go ahead and make this in a formal motion and approve creation of a committee for this purpose.
Yeah.
With Mr. Cunningham as the chair. Taylor, you'd already started, I believe, to start that motion.
Yeah, I would start that
Do we have a
motion.
second for that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we'll see how it goes.
What was the total dollars?
That will bring us to our principal's reports for the season. Who's going first?
Okay, I just wanted to commend our teachers. We had a stretch of virtual learning days there a few weeks ago, and I just cannot speak highly enough of our team and the innovation that they've used to really connect with their families on those virtual learning days and make them the best that we can. There's a way for us to track those engagement minutes, and we've seen a really significant increase in the minutes our students are engaging with those teachers and those real-time teaching things. And I know that doesn't happen by accident. It happens by making them as entertaining and as engaging and as meaningful as we possibly can. I don't know, Greg, if you see what your wife does, it's pretty miraculous. And I I just want to give them kudos, they're making lemonade out of lemons, and just really, I just appreciate their time and their energy. And I also want to thank our parents and our community people for their work behind the scenes to, help the kids get logged in and all of those kinds of things. So just really, really grateful for how successful we've made this. We've come a long way since our first virtual experiences back in COVID, and I'm just really, really proud of our team. We are in the heart of our kindergarten screening roundup information. You may have seen we are really trying to do a social media campaign, trying to outreach. I just want to let you know, we also send letters to every daycare provider in town, every preschool person. We are really trying to be very intentional in making sure we are looking under every rock to find those students who need to become little warriors next year. Just want to thank Brandy Shorter. She's the one who's getting all those registration forms, and Lexi Swartzel. I can't take the credit for the cute videos and the great design that she's doing to really outreach to find those new students. So just really appreciate the effort of everybody there. Believe it or not, I Read 3 testing will be here in just a few weeks. All of our second graders will take that assessment, and we have our third graders who were not successful in second grade who will be taking that the first week of March. And I just want to commend all of our teachers for their hard work and preparation for that. And the last thing is we have our PEP Club, which is our Positive Engaging Parents. We're going to be hosting Donuts with Grown-Ups on Saturday, March 7th, and I just want to express my gratitude for those parents and teachers who are making that event come to life. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Last Saturday, our band and choir students, several of them participated in solo ensemble competitions. I think I counted 23 students participated with 16 golds and 8 silvers. So kudos to all those participants. Also wanted to share a little bit about esports, which is new to us this school year. And you probably heard Mrs. Cheesem, a donation from the Harold Welter. Mr. Armstrong got a grant for that concerning esports. What they're doing currently is they're doing a chess competition with other schools, and we have 8 players that are participating. They're coming in after school and participating. And last week we had 3 winners, so that was good. Mr. Armstrong also participated in a webinar just today, actually, about starting a program, even though he's already started it. And he made sure I saw this information, so I'm going to pass it on to you. People that participate in sports and esports, not together, but one or the other, are 14% better attendance, 20% higher GPA, 15% higher in math and reading scores, 20% more likely to receive a bachelor's degree or higher in college, and 84% of students in esports report having a community fit for their first time. So, those are pretty good stats to get students involved. So I like hearing all of those things. And a new opportunity that may not reach athletes or other things. So, but speaking of athletes, the winter season's getting into swing for middle school. Our middle school wrestling had their first meet last week, as did our 7th and 8th grade girls basketball teams. Tonight we have our first home 7th and 8th grade girls in action. Tomorrow our first 6th grade game, girls basketball, is home. And Thursday our wrestlers are home. So we got a busy week with sports and getting rolling. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have Mr. Hook's report. He said, once again this year we have partnered up with area schools to host a regional college and career fair. This year the fair is being held at Pioneer Junior Senior High School. All juniors and seniors will be attending on February 27th. There will be over 70 organizations in attendance for this event. This will allow our students a great opportunity to network with local businesses, post-secondary institutions, and various branches of the military. On January 22nd, the high school celebrated Martin Luther King Jr. Day with our annual convocation. At this convocation, we recognize students who have exhibited the tenets Dr. King modeled. He wants to recognize and congratulate the following students for being positive presence at Winamac Community High School. For service, Jalen Huddleston and Levi Brown. Integrity, Candace Croft and Lex Budka. Courage, Ethan Hoffa, Hayden Taylor. Dignity, Ethan Burgess and Brooke Roush. Justice Penelope Wagner and Eli Overmeyer. Leadership Evan Burris and Avery Wagner. He also wants to thank Mr. Shetro for taking the time to ensure that Winamac Community High School continues to make this day dedicated to servitude and justice.
Okay. Anyone have anything else for the principals? Thank you for your reports. Mrs. Cheatham, would you like to give your report?
I do. I want to just highlight the short legislative session that is occurring right now. And the legislators expect to complete their work by the end of February, and the deadline for bills to pass their originating chambers has passed, and the House and Senate have exchanged their bills. All legislation must clear the opposite chamber by February 24th. There's two bills moving forward right now that there's a lot of bills that have an impact on education, but there was two bills today that I wanted to highlight that are still moving. One of them is Senate Bill 78, which would prohibit student use of cell phones, personal laptops, smartwatches, and other electronic devices for the entire school day. Current law restricts cell phone use to only instructional time. This bill would require devices to be securely stored at school or left at home for the duration of the day. There's a lot of discussion as to what that means to be securely stored, whether a locker suffices or whether the school would have to have secure storage like you would see at a concert or some type of sporting event like that, which is it's an unfunded bill at this point. Senate Bill 159 also would require schools to include a provision that allows parents to increase the strength of content filtering and limit student device access. So when we send our Chromebooks home, they are filtered. So if students are on inappropriate site or they're searching or sending emails or searching websites of concerning or inappropriate material, we are notified and we check into that. But this bill would allow parents to actually increase the strength. That is something that is not currently available on our devices, and I'm working with Mr. Haschel and Mrs. Burgess to see, and the companies that do our content filtering, to see what that would cost to increase that for our parents to be able to do that. So that's another thing that we're watching that is also unfunded. So two bills I wanted to bring up. I also want to congratulate the girls basketball team on a successful season, as well as our wrestlers, and tell good luck to our wrestlers Asher Jones, Ryan Shell, and Tierson Wolford at semi-state this weekend.
So anyone have anything else for Mrs. Cheese? Thank you for your report. That'll bring us to board comment. Mr. Campbell, would you like to start tonight?
No comment.
Mr. Kaiser?
Good at this time, thanks.
Cunningham?
The donations, obviously, we appreciate everyone, but the Frank Scheidler family, that was special.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's all I have.
Swipe?
No comment.
Mr. Roush?
I'm kind of excited over the elementary school playground right now. So.
Can't wait to play on it, huh?
I am.
I can see you zip lining down that.
We just had 2 buckets we threw at each other.
Yeah. It's come a little ways. But that was in the 1800s, right?
They just invented buckets.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm good. So that'll end board comment. I'll bring us to adjournment. Who wishes to make that motion?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.